Hello and welcome to News Today. My name is Kimini Nyamani Amano. Coming up, government of Ghana retrieves over 10 million Ghana cedis from companies which defrauded the nation through operations in government-bonded warehouses. Also to come on the far Hello again and welcome to News Today. Moving on, we take our first story, and receiving punishment or paying for a crime you have committed. Now that's pretty acceptable, but what is unacceptable and perhaps unthinkable is paying for a misdeed you know nothing about and had absolutely no hand in. And that's what happens in some of our traditional religious shrines where young virgin girls are taken in payment for services or to appease gods for alleged misdeeds of a family member. This practice is common among the Aba tribe in Ghana and Togo, as well as the Fon people in Benin. As astounding as it may sound, the practice is still undertaken today. Little Angela is a victim of fetish slavery. Right, and Komla Ado listens to her story and shares it with you.
Angela is a 13-year-old JHS1 pupil of Adaklu Voje LAJHS, located in the Adaklu district of the Volta region. For several months, she has been a slave to a shrine in Kliko, in the Ketu South district of the Volta region, initiating her into lifelong servitude called trococy. Trococy involves forced sexual intercourse with fetish priests and fetish elders. Her story might sound beyond belief, but this is the truth of the matter, not with Angela alone, but with dozens of other innocent young girls whose stories are hidden from the public. When we first met Angela, she appeared traumatized, timid, dejected, and in captivity. Unlike other classmates, Angela is not cheerful in school. Although Angela lived all her life with her mother in the Adaklu district, she now belongs to a shrine in the Ketu South district, serving punishment for an alleged misdeed of a family member. This is how hard trococy can strike. We managed to have a conversation with Angela at a secret location for obvious reasons. Her responses were timorous, characterized by fear and lacking in self-confidence, with tears rolling down her cheeks. I asked whether she was aware of the reason she now belongs to a trococy shrine. She tells me they say her father committed an abominable act by bearing children with two women belonging to a trococy shrine. Little Angela is paying the ultimate price for an alleged misdeed of her father, who, according to her, lives in Joje, in the Ketu North district, also in the Volta region. She also tells me whenever it's time for rituals, they come for her here in Adaklu Voje, near Ho, all the way to the shrine in Kliko, south of the Volta region. I try to find out what goes on in the shrine, but Angela tears profusely. When pressed further, she tries hard, but agonizingly, the words won't come out. It's the one answer that remains lodged in her throat. Angela will not tell what goes on in the shrine, but says she has been banned from going to church. Kwame is a resident of Adaklu Voje who told us about Angela's situation. He says Angela was first lured to the shrine in Kliko under the pretense of a Christian convention. When she returned from the shrine earlier this year, she appeared to be in some sort of trauma. He also intimates that according to Angela's teachers, apart from becoming timid and ashamed in school, her academic performance dropped significantly. She cries day in, day out, he tells us. Kwame also reveals that Angela is not the only girl from this community who is serving in the shrine for the same alleged misdeed of her father. Another cousin of Angela was also initiated.
From investigation from their teachers, they said she's a good girl and she performed well. Academically, she performed well. But the time they went there and come back, they could realize that there is some kind of timid life in her. And because of that, she doesn't associate herself with her colleagues anymore. And also, he did not want to go back to the school because she is ashamed that maybe her friends will be laughing at her. But the other lady, looking at her, she's not showing any action as if she don't like it. But the one here, the Angela, have been crying day in, day out.
Angela says she needs help as soon as possible, since she would very soon be taken to Kliko to serve permanently in the shrine. This little angel's hope and aspiration of going back to church and continuing her education to become a nurse is on the verge of shattering. That trocacy is still practiced in Ghana, in spite of being outlawed in 1998, and despite carrying a minimum 3-year prison sentence for conviction, is an indictment on our human rights records. 13-year-old Angela needs help. We hope her country does not let her down. Kamla Adot report for Joy News.
Students of the Senior High Technical School for the Deaf risk losing their current place of study if 144,000 Ghana cedis of rent fees are not settled by close of this week. The property and land owners are demanding that the school pay all monies owed to them, or they will forcibly eject them from the buildings. But the school, which is under-resourced and government subvention, does not have the means to settle the debt.
For the past 38 years, the Senior High Technical School for the Deaf have virtually been living on donations and handouts from government and other corporate institutions. Efforts to revamp the operations of the school have not yielded much result. Thus, the school still does not have permanent structures. The school virtually has to live on the benevolence of some landlords to survive. But the landlords can take no more and are demanding that the school pays all monies owed them or risk being ejected. At the school's second speech and prize giving day, the headmaster appealed to government to immediately come to the aid of the school.
On the 14th of this month, November, I received a letter from the property owner through the legal counsel with an ultimatum to pay an accruing debt of 14,800 cedis, which accrued from January 2011 to date, or face eviction. Our grace period ended yesterday, so any moment from Monday, we could be served with a notice of eviction, or we don't know what. We have the classrooms also built on other people's properties. So we are in pieces of properties and then having to cope with property owners from every angle.
Other dignitaries also joined in the appeal.
There is only one secondary school for the deaf in Ghana, which is overcrowded, understaffed, under-resourced, and without space for development. Teaching and learning materials are either not available or inadequate. For example, an indispensable teaching material which should be found in every classroom of a school for the deaf is a projector. And yet, this school, as I hear, does not even have one.
The Senior High Technical School for the Deaf is also saddled with other challenges, including the lack of computers, a bus to convey students to and from their dormitories, and special educational materials for the students. Dormitories leak badly whenever it rains, and the academic block have no places of convenience. Students must walk a dangerous 2 kilometers each day from their dormitories to their classrooms and stand the risk of being knocked down by vehicles. Despite the challenges, many have been tutored by their teachers to be self-reliant and demonstrated their capabilities by creating various works of art during the school's second speech day.
Stanley Semenshia is Assistant Headmaster of the Senior High Technical School for the Deaf. He's joined us over the telephone and would try and get an update on the situation. Hello, Stanley.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us on News Today. What's new about the situation at the school?
Oh, thank you very much. The situation is still the same. So far, we've not seen any of the landlords here. So, but we are still waiting. We are in school. When they come, as they come, we also report to our board of directors and the district director. So they also pick up the issue from there.
Joy News has gathered that the GES is supposed to be in a meeting with you today at 2 p.m.
Yes.
What can you tell us about this?
It's true that our headmaster is gone to the headquarters to meet the authorities concerned. So he's still at a meeting with them. Yes.
What are your expectations of this meeting?
Oh, we are expecting that, in fact, they will listen to us, share without our concern, then they should help us to centralize the school.
Centralize the school, how do you mean?
I mean, we should live at one place where now we have two campuses. We can't continue to live in this situation. Yes.
Are you hopeful that by the end of this meeting, your landlords won't come back to your doors and ask for their monies?
Yeah, definitely. They might come or they might wait because the issue is on air and everybody is talking about it. So we are still waiting. We are there, so when they come, also pick it up.
Thank you very much, Stanley. Stanley Semenshia is Assistant Headmaster for the Senior High School for the Deaf. Now, Presidential Staffer Dr. Clement Apak has told Joy News government of Ghana has retrieved over 10 million Ghana cedis from companies which defraud destinations through operations of bonded warehouses. Last month, Joy News broke the story about some 290 companies which connived with custom officials to clear goods at bonded warehouses without paying duties. I spoke with him earlier today on News Desk.
We had indicated that government had given the companies up to the end of last month to correct the wrong that they were about to commit against the good people of Ghana, in particular some unscrupulous public officials, particularly those customs officials who had the responsibility of ensuring that these companies paid the needed duties to the state. I can report on authority that at the close of end of last month, in excess of 10 million Ghana cedis has come in from at least 4 companies. We are yet to look at the entire list, and you would agree that when you speak about in excess of 280 companies, it would take a bit of time to collate the information and to analyze it, and then also to cross-check with the CAP vis-a-vis which companies have come forward and have presented receipts and all of that before we can put forward the final figure about how much has come in. But be as it may, let it be that this is not a witch hunt. Some of the same companies which were vigorously denying or even questioning the authenticity of the data that was put forward by the task force have been in the lead in terms of paying the duties that they should have paid. So that in itself is a very telling outcome. When this story broke on the 24th of October, some companies came out publicly to deny any wrongdoing. And those same companies which came out publicly to deny wrongdoing have been in the lead of paying. So whilst I don't want to state the names now, because we are preparing a much more comprehensive report and we are going to hold a media briefing to explain how, why, and where we are today, I think that you can read between the lines to understand the references that I am making. We are a nation that believes in the rule of law, And we expect that when infractions are committed, regardless of who and what entity, the law will be take its course. So as I speak to you now, the police CID has served almost every company that was on the list in terms of calling attention to their responsibility. Processes have already begun. Some of the companies have come forward claiming to have paid and they have presented bank receipts. And even the preliminary investigation shows that some of these companies may have been defrauded by some personnel who were expected to have dispensed their responsibilities as employees of those companies. So the issues are much more complicated than meets the eye, but the CID is already working on that file, and sooner or later prosecutions would commence as to those companies which have not met their responsibilities.
The legal battle between the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly and Frico FG Limited, a private company contracted in 2002 to manage the KJTIA market, begins Monday and has been adjourned. The KMA is accusing Frico FG for shortchanging the Assembly over the years by failing to declare actual revenue accrued from its operations at the lorry terminal and further leaving the place in a mess. Mohammed Nuruddin, our Ashanti regional correspondent, who has been following events on this particular issue, joins us on the telephone now to show more light on the situation. Hello, Nuruddin.
Hello, Kamini.
Yeah, so you told us earlier that the case had been adjourned. To when exactly?
To Thursday.
And that makes it the 5th of December.
Yeah, the 5th of September.
All right. So how are parties to the case, responding to this?
Well, both parties are saying they have case, and they believe that on Thursday the ruling will go in favor of them. You remember Frico FD filed an application for salvatory injunction, and KMA defied that orders of the court. So they went back and then filed another application for contempt. So in court today, what happened was that the KMA came in to respond to the first application, which is asking them to vacate the terminal. And so the court has adjourned to Thursday to rule whether KMA should join the battle, the legal battle for the first application. That is when the FD file an application asking them to vacate the place. So on Thursday, the judge will be ruling whether KMA should contest in this matter or not. We understand on the 11th of December too, the court will also sit on the content issue, which is also a different application. Yeah.
I see. And so this particular case that was heard was to determine whether or not the KMA can be part of the suit.
Exactly.
Is the suit not against the KMA?
Exactly. That is what is going to happen on Thursday. It is to decide whether KMA should be part of the suit.
I see. Thank you very much, Nuruddin. Mohammed Nuruddin is our Ashanti regional correspondent. He's joined us from the area on the tussle between the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly and Frico FG Limited, a private company contracted to oversee business of the KJTIA bus terminal, which is now being taken over by the KMA. You're watching News Today. I'll be right back. Don't go away. You're welcome back to News Today. Now, the Kwame Nkrumah Roundabout at Takoradi in the Western region, which was closed to traffic, has been opened to traffic now after about 75% of repairs on the roundabout has been done. Meanwhile, the Metropolitan Chief Executive of Secondary Takoradi, Captain Retired Anthony Kujo, attributed the delays on the project to minor logistic challenges on the part of the suppliers and assured the remaining works will commence early next year. A report by Western Regional Correspondent William Benjamin Peters. We'll bring you that story later, but let's talk about something else. And King's Village, Ghana, a Christian international development organization based in the Kumbugu district of the northern region, has commissioned a boat ambulance for 4 isolated farming communities in the district.
The 4 farming communities of Zinga, Zantani, Botanga and Kuli are cut off by the white water from the rest of the district, making it difficult for residents to access healthcare in the district capital. Over the past decade, King's Village Ghana, a Christian NGO, has made significant contributions to the socio-economic development of the Kumbungu district. The organization commissioned a boat ambulance for the 4 communities as it marked its 10th anniversary. Many sick people and pregnant women have lost their lives trying to cross the river to access health care. The boat ambulance is expected to ease access and save lives. Director of King's Village Ghana, Reverend Ben Owusu-Setre, said an outboard motor will be provided so the boat ambulance can be used during the rainy season when the strong currents make the river difficult to navigate.
Over the years, we have witnessed that we have some emergency cases from that area, and some of them have lost their lives. And so we want to provide a free access. And access also saves lives. And that is why we have put the boat over the river.
Former Chief Executive of the Tamale Teaching Hospital, Dr. Ken Sego, commissioned the boat ambulance with assistance from chiefs from the area.
Right, so we'll go back to our earlier story from Sekondi at Takoradi, and where we understand that a road project has been opened after 75% of the work is complete. Here's a quick report from our Western Regional Correspondent William Benjamin Peters.
The Chief Executive of the Sekondi Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly, during a visit to inspect the completion of the first phase of repair works on the Nkrumah Roundabout, expressed satisfaction on the state of the project and commended the contractor for a good work done. He debunked the rumors that the Assembly and the contractor were compelled by transport institutions to open the roundabout to traffic, adding the contractor was rather confronted with minor logistic constraints and will therefore mobilize and commence works early next year.
It appeared that there is a deal that the STMA and the contractor was pressurized by some section of the Road Transport Association to open the roundabout to traffic. That is not true. We decided, based on certain factors, to open the road to traffic. We all know that the Ghana Ports and Harbours is undertaking a redevelopment project, and they require these materials to also pave the grounds in the port. So it is like we are competing for the same material from the same supplier. So when the supply was overburdened, we realized that it couldn't supply our contractor. So the contractor did not have full complement of his logistic needs. And that is why we had to stop a further construction of the road.
The Kwame Nkrumah Roundabout serves as the major access route to the central business district of Takoradi, but was also one of the worst within the Sekondi Takoradi metropolis, with numerous potholes. The situation became a major worry to road users, with many vehicles colliding in an attempt to swerve the potholes. Several attempts to rectify the problem, primarily through filling the potholes, proved futile due to the waterlogged nature of the area. Government, therefore, through the Secondary Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly, awarded a contract to Just More Construction Limited for the construction of the section, using pavement blocks to ensure longevity. However, a section of the roundabout was blocked to traffic, with only one section of the 2 lanes open to traffic, which brought about traffic congestion, especially for vehicles traveling to and from the Central Business District of Takoradi. In a related development, the Metro Chief Executive has condemned unauthorized development and indiscriminate erection of containers and kiosks within the Secondary Takoradi Metropolis, and has challenged the various assembly members to come out with pragmatic measures to address the problem.
Refund of electricity bills based on the recently increased 79% tariff, which was later reduced by 25%, begins this month. The Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission recently upped tariffs by 79%, which led to labor agitations, forcing the government to come in, as a result of which the tariffs were slashed by 25%. We're putting in efforts to reach the ECG over how this will be experienced and how it will be done. In the meantime, we'll take a quick break. I'll be right back. Don't worry. You're welcome back to News Today. Let's do some business stories now. General Overseer of Christian Action Faith Ministries, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, has tasked politicians to be concerned with improving the livelihoods of Ghanaians, speaking at the church's 2013 Impact Summit in Accra. Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams said the backbiting and insults must be channeled towards this regard.
You're going to live here and you're going to say, you know, God, I am not God and I'm nobody's judge. And I'm not going to judge who you use and what you do. I'm just going to be thankful for what you do with me. And I'm not going to be a busybody questioning what you do with anybody's life. Are you hearing me? That is the problem we have in the church and even in political circles. Everybody thinks they have the answer and the solution. When MPP was in office, NDC people were criticizing them. That they should get out. We have the solution. Everything they are doing is wrong. Now MPP is gone, NDC has come in. MPP is also criticizing them. Everything they do is wrong. And then they will also come, and then NDC will condemn them. And then they will also come, and all you are doing is wasting our time. Make some changes, move this country, change the economy. We don't care who is in office. We don't care what party is in office. As long as we can pay our children's school fees, and as long as we can solve the problems of traffic on the highway. Mr. President, you're doing a good job with the Sprintex Road, but there's a little mistake here. That bypass from the Polo Club, they have to open it up so that the traffic will move, so our children can get to school early. Mr. Chief of Staff, please help us. Somebody say, help us, help us. As long as we can pay our children's school fees and pay our bills, we don't care whether it's MPP or NDC. And I'm speaking to all the political parties here. Mr. Kwame Jantua is here, General Secretary of CPP, my father's party. Then we have Honorable Fred Owari over here, Vice Chairman of MPP. We have Honorable Irene over here, also an MP of MPP. Listen. We don't care who comes and who go. Just fix the economy. Let's feed us. Okay? Just feed us. Let us take off our children and pay their school fees, and let's live a decent, free the economy. Let some money be in our pockets.
More more reason managers of the economy might have to listen to the Archbishop's advice is because Ghana's public debt has hit 46.1 billion cedis as at the end of September this year. This is about 54% of the total value of the economy, which many describe as unsustainable because it is inching closer to the critical 60% mark. The figure, which was put out by the central bank last week, also shows that government has in 1 month added 2.2 billion Ghana cedis to the public debt. The total public sector debt was made up of a domestic debt stock of some 24.9 billion Ghana cedis, up from the 18.5 billion in December 2012, and external debt stock of $10.8 billion, up from $8.8 billion as at the end of December. Now, figures from the Bank of Ghana have also shown that the government, as at the end of September this year, spent almost 8 billion Ghana cedis more than revenue collected for the same year. Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan has received the Tourism Ambassador of the Year Award 2012 for achievements as a footballer and helping place Ghana on the tourism map. The 9th edition of the National Tourism Awards honored many stakeholders in the industry for their role in promoting tourism in Ghana.
After a 5-year break, the National Tourism Award has come back, repackaged. The ceremony, which first started in 1997, is to award excellence in the tourism industry. Labadi Beach Hotel received the top award of a 5-star hotel of the year. Google Ghana was also honored for putting up Ghana's tourist locations on its website for free. Aphrodisiac Nightclub took away the Nightclub of the Year award, while Vienna City, Takrady, was awarded for its role making nightlife in Ghana great.
The Tourism Ambassador of the Year 2012, the captain of the Black Stars, Asamoah Gyan, and by dint of great achievements, he single-handedly placed Ghana on the international tourism map.
According to active executive director of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Samson Donko, though the industry has seen progress with the increased number of tourists over the years, there are still challenges. He mentioned poor infrastructure such as roads leading to tourist sites, as well as capital for tourism investment. The sector minister also indicated the realignment of tourism, culture and creative arts has called for a new policy direction to improve the various sectors.
The tourism sector has shown not only just resilience against global recession over the years, but a steady growth in terms of increased international arrivals and receipts, job creation, investment in tourism facilities and services, especially in the hotels, restaurant operations, tour operations, car rentals, traditional catering establishment. Similarly, there has been a significant increase in both the number of airlines and flights, thus providing a strong base for promoting business and leisure tourism.
Zoom Lion, Coconut Grove Hotels, Glyco and Vienna City all received exemplary awards for various roles they played in improving the industry.
That's it for the business segment. I'll be right back with some sports news. Thank you for staying on News Today. We'll check out news from elsewhere. You're welcome back. Let's wrap it up with some showbiz news. An ace high life musician, A.B. Crenshaw, has been honored at a 3rd edition of the Legends and Legacy Bowl in Accra. The 69-year-old musician was honored with a tribute concert which saw some musicians sing songs from his repertoire.
Shall we give him a louder round of applause, ladies and gentlemen?
Saturday night was an emotional one for the High Life legend, who was the 3rd musician to be honored at the Legends and Legacy Bowl. 7 performers sang their own renditions of some of A.B. Crenshaw's hit songs. First up was singer Raquel. Then there was Kwabna Kwabna. There was Afro New singer Ifia. Gospel duo No Tribe. Hitmaker 2013 winner Kon Takra actor Kofi Ajololo, a surprise act, performed the ever-famous Moses.
When Moses got to the Red Sea, the sea was so red. In Chen was dark, so black. Moses was scared.
And there was another surprise act for the night. 2012 presidential candidate of the PNC, Hassan Ayariga, who sang Juliana.
It was really a ball. If you missed it, I'm sure you just have to wait because it's just once. You'd wait for next year. Top of the news stars are again. Government of Ghana retrieves over 10 million Ghana cedis from companies which defrauded the nation through operations of bonded warehouses. It's Kimini Nyamani Amano for the small news of my Online. Enjoy the rest of our programs.